Hello, welcome back to my channel. Jan here, and this is the third in my series of very simple Christmas cards, card folds. But first of all, as usual, I'm going to show you it as a different card. It could be a birthday or it could be something else, just to show you how quite versatile the design is. So today's card is called a Joyfold card. I didn't invent them, the cards, the folds. They're all over YouTube and Pinterest and everything. So you know, if you want to go and have a look up them, please feel free to. But this is you know, where I'm going to give you the measurements and things like that for the ones that I've done. And yeah, I hope you enjoy them, find them useful, and I hope that it's going to be a, you know, quite a quick little tutorial, because this is another one of the simplest little cards that you can possibly make, but it looks stunning actually. So this is my version. I've made it a just for you card. As you can see, I've popped up my just for you on 3 layers of white thin cardstock, and it just really gives it that, you know, it makes it stand out and it gives it that appeal. So this is the front of my card. This is the back. It's tied up with a little ribbon, and you'll see why, I expect. Let's get this undone. And then when it opens up like this. So it's got like a little pop-up bit in the middle, and when it stands up like that, and it just looks really, really, really nice actually, very pretty. So that's my version as a birthday card, and as I say, today we're going to make it as a Christmas card for our Christmas card 2021 sort of challenge. So the pieces that you're going to need you're going to need one piece of cardstock, which is 4 1/8 by 11.5, and you're going to need to score that at 5 3/4. So that is in metric, that's 10.5 by 29 centimetres, and you're going to score that at 14.5 centimetres. You're also going to need a piece of white or whatever background colour you choose, which is 1 inch by 11 inches as opposed to 11.5. So 1 inch by 11 inches, and that is 2.5 by 28 centimetres. And this you're going to score at 3 centimetres. 3 inches at 5.5 and at 8 inches, and that is at 7.6, 14 and 20.3. Don't forget, if you don't get these figures quickly off this video, I always put them in the box below, so you'll be able to, you know, in the information box you'll be able to get it up. So we need those pieces. We're also going to need 4 squares that measure in the same backing paper, that measure 2 1/4 inch square, so 2 1/4 inch all sides, and that is 5.8 centimetres. And then on the design series paper you're going to need 4 pieces in total, which are 2 pieces of 2 designs each. So there's 4 pieces there, but they're 2 different designs, and they all measure 4 by 5 5/8, and that is 10.2 by 14.4. okay, and you're going to need 4 squares, which you're going to put on the inside of these squares, of these ones, and these are these were 2 1/4, so these are 2 1/8 squares, and that in metric is, didn't make a note of it, but in metric that is 5.4. okay. But as ever, I use imperial, so for metric please do double check it, because I'm okay with it, but I might, you know, I might make mistakes. Right, okay, you're going to need 2 pieces of design series paper. I've chosen to use the same as one of these, and they need to measure 2 7/8 by 7/8, and that is 7.3 by 2.2. And you're going to need 2 more pieces that are 2 3/8 by 7/8, and that is 6 by 2.2. You're going to need some sort of sentiment for the front of your card, and again I've popped this up on several layers of card to make it stand out. You're going to need some embellishments for your card, and you're going to need a piece of ribbon, a piece of quite narrow ribbon. I mean, you can go up to 1/2 inch or so. I just happen to have this, and this is approximately 26 inches, which is approximately 66 centimeters. Okay, so we've got all of our bits and pieces that we need together, and like I say, this very simple, quick and easy card. So the first thing that we're going to do, let me make sure that I am in frame still. Yep. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is along that score line on our big piece of card, which we scored at 5 3/4, we're just going to fold it in half. We're going to make what would usually be a top folding note card. Okay, I'm not using a very thick card base for this. I'm not using 300 gram because it's lined inside and out with DSP, and that will, you know, design series paper, and that will make it fairly, you know, quite sturdy. I mean, this one is well sturdy enough, actually, you know, you can hear it. Right, okay, so we're going to start off with that folded, and as I say, that would be a top folding note card usually, but we're going to do it horizontally today. So your other piece of card, your strip of card, you're going to fold it in half along the center line, which is the 5 1/2 one, and then you're going to fold each of the other folds back like that. Make sure it lines up properly along the 2 edges and give it a good score. There we go. And fold this one that way as well. Make sure it lines up. You'll see that these 2 are longer than the inside fold, which is absolutely correct. So it should look like this. Okay, this is the piece you should have, and we're going to fit that inside the card. So now it's basically, that's all there is to it. So what we need to do now is to start assembling it. So first job, obviously, is to cover our front and back of our card. But before we can do that, we need to run the ribbon round, because the ribbon goes underneath the design paper, round the back of the card, and then underneath that at the back as well. That's the most stable way of doing it. So the first thing you're going to do is, when you have your card folded in half, you measure down along the folded edge from either side. You measure 2 1/16 of an inch, which is where you have your 1/8 of an inch, sort of these smaller marks. This bigger one here is half, that's 1/4, that's an 1/8, and this little mark here is 1/16. And we're going to mark that there, and we're also going to mark it over here, not right at the edge, so round about here. Okay, I should have done that there as well on this side. We don't really want to mark it right at the edge, because your design series paper doesn't come that far, and that won't cover your pencil mark, and you'll end up having to do some rubbing out and that, which is, you know, not preferable. And then turn your piece over and do exactly the same on the other side. So 2 1/16, which is in centimetres, 2 1/16, let me see, is 5.2 centimetres. So 2 1/16, we're going to measure there. And then we are going to take a piece of 1/4 inch tape, 1/4 inch score tape, open our card. Oh, we can leave our card like this at the moment, so it's just in half, okay? And we're going to run a piece of score tape across those lines there, not quite going up to the back, centered across those pencil marks that you've made, and not quite going up to the front edge. So give it about 1/4 inch or so away from the front and the back edge, okay? And you're going to turn your card over and do exactly the same on the other side, and that makes sure that your ribbon is level. So that's going to go there. You're going to take it across here to about 1/4 inch short of reaching the back edge, and take that off. And that's the only thing that we need that 1/4 inch tape for. So give that a good give that a good burnish, and then take off the backing on one side. Put that over there. Now fold your piece of ribbon in half, or roughly in half. You can have one end longer than the other, because doing the bow, you know, it's sort of one end is longer than the other usually. And with your card closed, put the ribbon around the back like that. This is the only one where we've peeled the backing off, and we are just about to line this ribbon up with those pencil marks, which you can still see through the tape. So there and there, and that makes sure that we've got that straight, okay? And then we're going to turn it over and we're going to do exactly the same thing, but it's important to do this with the card closed rather than open, and I will show you why in a moment. There we go, that's your ribbon. Right, when you open the card, you'll see that there's a bit of a gather, you know, a bit of a gap there, and that's necessary to be able to close the card. If you just went straight the way across without having that gap there, you wouldn't be able to close the card, so that's why we do it like that. Okay, right, so the next step is then that we're going to cover the outside of the card, and I have mine ready taped. Just need to get the backing off. Tear off a bit more tape for the middle. I like to do it sort of like this so that I have control over it. So I'm going to take off my middle piece of tape, and then I'm going to line this up. There should be quite a small border around it, about 1/8 inch, but just lay it down gently and check that you are straight as best you can. There we go. I think that's about as good as I'm going to get since I'm at arm's length. Press that down, and then holding it down you can remove all the rest of the backing from the tapes and get it stuck down. That's one. How are you guys doing? It's absolutely, I mean, this is the middle of August and it's absolutely chucking it down with rain here. It has been for days and days and days. In fact, I'd say that's a feature of the summer over here at the moment. I think we had 2 gloriously hot weeks, and apart from that we've had absolutely nothing but rain, and it just makes me so sad, because I know that there's lots of other parts of the world that are desperate for rain at the moment with all the forest fires. So I hope that all you guys are okay, that you're safe and well and not suffering too much. I hope you're not caught up in the middle of these fires that are so dreadful. But yeah, so I've got my window closed today for a change because it's been quite stuffy here, but it isn't today. It's quite chilly, and I just can't believe it's the middle of August. Just can't believe it at all. It's absolute madness. I've never known a year like this. They're talking about us getting an Indian summer and a, you know, sort of a last flush of sun coming from over from Africa, from the African continent. But yeah, I mean, you know, our late evenings are going now, you know, where it was still light till 9:30, something like that. Now it's naturally dark by about 8 o'clock. So yeah, it's been pretty miserable actually. It's a pretty miserable end to a pretty miserable year, all in all. Right, okay, so that's the outside of the front completed. We're going to do exactly the same thing with the inside of the front, the inside. So we're going to stick these two down. I wish I could do fast forward for you, but I have not mastered it at all. I've been reading and reading and reading, but to say I'm computer non-savvy is a joke. I'm surprised I can actually turn the thing on. And we haven't actually got a computer. We've got well, my daughter's got a laptop which I borrow now and again. She uses it mainly for work. I can borrow it now and again if she's not using it, but almost entirely I do everything on my phone. So yeah, that's where I am with things. So yeah, I'm so total and utter technophobe, but my excuse is I'm creative. We can't be everything, can we? How about you guys? Are you good with technology? Do you do the digital designing? I've seen some really lovely ones, but absolutely beyond me. Now when you come to fix these down, you'll see that inside it is quite close to the fold, which is okay as long as it's not over the fold line. It's more important to have a good even, you know, background all the way around it. As long as it doesn't go over the fold line, you're okay with this, and you're not actually going to pay much attention to the middle probably. Okay, I promise you this is going to be one of the easiest little cards you've ever made in your life. The hardest thing is sorting out your embellishments. There's a little tiny bit of measuring and that's it. Oops, there's the backing. Right, okay, so that's my card outside and in. I've tried to use some alternative colours this year. There's not really much Christmas paper around at the moment in August. It's just beginning to come in, but I'm totally unimpressed with it as I was last year. So this paper here is probably about 3 years old, I should think. And it is a very deep purple. If it's not showing up in the video, it's a very deep purple with the purple and green and grey on the inside. So we'll give it a go and see what it ends up like. Right, okay, so that's the inside and outside of your card. Now we're going to work on this. Now when you lay this down, we want it so that the fold comes up in the middle, okay? Not like that where the fold goes down and you've got two peaks here. I want it so it's got one peak here and these two bits here. And for this I'm going to use my glue. And oh my goodness guys, what an absolute game changer these are. I never ever realised. I thought, you know, what's all the hype about sort of thing. And anyway, in the end I treated myself to them, and a bit of a palaver trying to get a pin that fits in it. Do you know these pins here, the stainless steel ones, are over £1 each, which is disgraceful if you ask me, but there you go. Right, okay, so, but these, you use almost no glue at all. It's amazing. And because they're so precision, it's fantastic when you're doing, layering up your die cuts, you know, your words and things. So, my goodness, why I didn't get these years ago, I just don't know. I mean, you know, it just puts on the tiniest bit of glue, but that's all you need. Okay, so let's make sure I get these all up the same way. So this one goes on here. There we go. And actually it is pretty much the same size. And to be honest with you, you're better off bringing it up so it's quite tight on this end. So it's kind of like this. Goodness me, I've lost the powers to stick things down, because then that little white gap is fine there. You're not going to even see that, but we will see these outside edges. So this is the bits that we need. So let's get these two stuck down first, and I can see that I obviously haven't trimmed mine to the correct size. I think I've made it 1 inch, in which case I just need to turn it over and trim it afterwards. So turn that round just for my ease and pop this on, line it up. There we go. If you've cut yours correctly, you won't have this problem, she says. Right, and these two pieces, the smaller pieces, are going to go in the middle, and they will have a gap either side. But yes, clearly I've cut mine to 1 inch instead of the 7/8 of an inch. So my bad, but I shall just do a discreet bit of trimming afterwards, and no one will ever know the difference. In fact, to be honest with you, you probably find you don't even need to trim it, because those squares are covering it. Right, let's line that up, line that up. I'm going to do the same with this one. Sorry, I think I keep coming out of frame, so I keep forgetting to put my arms at arm's length. I'm used to working with everything sort of on top of me, really. So remembering to spread out and put my arms out. I have to keep telling myself. Right, there we go. And my precious pin that I absolutely must not lose. Whoever heard of a pin costing £1? I think it's crazy. Well, it's more than crazy, it's a take on, but you have to have stainless steel, and that's all there is to it. Right, let me just find my scissors so I can trim this up. But like I say, you won't need to, because you will have cut it correctly, as opposed to stupid me. That's one. And honestly, this is all there is to this card, and the rest of it is embellishing. Could probably do a dozen of them in one afternoon, I should think. But they are still very, you know, attractive and versatile. Don't know if you can hear my little dog down here on the floor. He's snoring his head off at the moment. He's a tiny, tiny little miniature teacup chihuahua, and he only weighs about £2, 12 ounces, I think. But honestly, he could snore for England. Right, okay, so we're going to put our piece like this, And we are going to, the easiest way to do it is to fix these first. So I'm just going to make sure that they're all the right way up. I mean, you don't have to add this white edge to them if you don't want to. It's just that for me it made it a bit stiffer. It stiffened the paper a bit and made it stand up better. Right, so let's start with these ones here. And what we're going to do is we're going to centre it up as best we can. Make sure it's as straight as we can get it. And we're going to run some glue just across the middle bit here. Don't leave it short of the edge by about 1/4 of an inch and short of this edge by about 1/4 of an inch as well. So you're only gluing the bit in the middle on this one. Okay. And we are going to put this down gently where we think the middle is, which I think is about there. And I'm going to try to run my T-ruler along the bottom to see if that helps. Don't think it will actually, but it might do. Oh, look at that. That is pretty much straight. It's just a little bit out. There we go. That's a miracle for me. I can never get a straight line. Oh, now I've done it too much that way. That's got to go up a little bit. There. Right, and as you can probably see, I've put too much glue on it, so just be really aware when you're putting your glue on that you don't put too much on like me. Right, so that's that one. Then we're going to do the other outside edge one. So again, I'd leave it 1/2 an inch actually, seeing what I've just done. Leave it 1/2 an inch short of the outside edges. So you only need that bit in the middle. Okay, and we're going to fold this in half, making sure it's lined up, and in that way we can get this one level exactly with that one. Neat, huh? Very clever, very neat. Right, and we're going to do the same with the middle ones. So this time we're going to run the glue almost to the edge. I'd leave about, don't know, 1/8 of an inch maybe. Run the glue in the middle to the edge of the designer paper, I mean. And we are going to fold that under so that we have this, and in that way we can line this up as well. So we can line it up. We have to judge the first one ourselves as to where the middle is, but you can certainly get top and bottom lined up so that you know it's straight. Push that across a little bit. Right, I think that's probably fine. And now I'm going to fold it in half again, and then I can line this one up too. So again, some glue. Didn't check if that's the right way up. Yes, what a miracle. Right, okay. Then we're going to line that up with the one underneath it, making sure it's straight, and press it down. Right, now that's our centre action piece. So we want to bring back the main card, and we're going to lie this on here. And you want to centre up so that the middle of this edge here, I hope you can see that, the middle of that edge, you can measure it if you want to, but or else you could just do it by eye. So the middle of that lines up with the middle of that ribbon. Okay, it won't come completely to the edge. and you do the same with the other side, but get it as close as you can. Right, the bit that you do need to make sure lines up is this center fold here needs to line up completely with the card center fold, and the best way to do that is simply to put the card across like that. Okay, so having got that where I think is in the right place, let me just have a look. Yep, oops, this one here is on the wonk a bit. Doesn't look, but I can't lift it up now, I've left it too late. So now basically if you hold this here and flip this back, you can apply some glue. So I know my one's a bit wonky, but like I say, I'm doing it sort of at arm's length. You apply glue only to the strip, not to the square. Okay, like that. Then flip it back, make sure it's lined up. Take a look at it. Yes, that looks lined up to me. And press it down. And then we're going to, well, I'm going to turn it round, but basically you just do the same to the other end. So you hold this down, you flip this up, apply glue only to this little bit here, all the way around, a little bit in the middle, making sure as well as nicely as you can that that is centralised with that ribbon so that you're happy with it, which I am. There we go, and then you can just press that down. Now that in essence is your card. That's it, sorted. Next one. But of course not. So when you come to fold it up the first time, pull out those two centre ones and fold your card like that. Okay, now you'll find that that is very much thicker than this. This is flat and this is very much thicker, because if you have a look here, I don't know if you can see, but there are essentially 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces of card there and only 2 there. Okay, that's why I've put a ribbon tie on it, but you could also make a belly band, a nice vellum belly band, and put it over it. But I've got it like this. So anyway, I'm just going to press it down. Now when you come to embellish this, the thing you need to remember is that you need to make this as flat as possible. These bits here, you can put what you like on the outside of the front or the back, but inside it really, really needs to be as flat as possible. So to that end, I have cut out and glittered with my stickles, gone to town as usual with my little diamantes, which I always kind of go a bit balmy with, and we're going to stick some of these down flat. And I've also got a little cute little pair of reindeer that I've gone to town with a bit. Now I know I'm saying keep it as flat as possible, but I could not resist doing their little freckles with some diamantes, so it's just going to get tied extra tight. So I'm going to place Mr. and Mrs., I suppose they are, on here like this. Make sure this top bit doesn't come over and that bottom bit doesn't come over, but to be fair, I know I can glue from the bottom of the antlers, like where the ears are, all the way down, halfway down the main part of their leg. I can't stick this down or the antlers because otherwise you won't be able to open the card. Okay, so let's give this a go. So we're going to start from the head here, the glue. Doesn't need much. Like I say, you can put anything here. You can put die cut words if you want to, or, you know, stamp on it. Do whatever you want. Your embellishing is entirely up to you. This is just what I've chosen to do, because I'm not that good at stamping, actually. It's one of the skills that I've never really learned. everything seems to kind of not work out for me when I try stamping. So it's something I'm going to practice though. So there we go. There's this one. And let's just make sure that when we fold the card up, he remains free. I'm saying him because he's looking back for his wife. Oh dear. Right, he needs to have come over more because his little antler. See if I can bend it up. There we go, that's better. He's got a wonky antler. I didn't think about that. Good job, this is my demo card. But anyway, so you get the gist. He's looking back at his wife. Okay, and I'm going to do the same for her as well, but on the back leg I can't go far down, because I can only go to her back hock, I think it's called. Oh dear, trust me for not even checking. It's a bit of a crash course in card making, isn't it? Still, we're having fun, Right, so I know now to put her pretty much as far over as I can get her. I'm not going to stick her down firmly this time. I'm going to shut the card first and see if anything catches for her. Him and her. No, it's just him. Right, so she can be pressed down. Lovely, nice and decorative. And then I'm going to select a couple of nice snowflakes to go on the card, and as far as I know you can actually stick these over the edge. Let me look. Yep, you can stick this anywhere, so you can put it here if you want to, which I think looks quite nice, or you can put it up there. But yeah, I think I'm going to put it here. So let's go with this one first. I've got some to go on the outside as well, but I'm going to stick those on with dimensionals. But you cannot, definitely cannot do that with these on the inside. In fact, I'm pushing it just using card. Oh, excuse me. That's my tummy rumbling. Hopefully you didn't hear that. That's very embarrassing. Just digesting my delicious lunch. Right, that's one. And let's choose one of these. Maybe I'll put that up there. There, that looks nice, doesn't it? I hope you all agree with me. If not, do let me know in the comments box. Please, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the videos if you think it's okay, if you quite like it. I need all the help and support I can get with YouTube. The better ratings, the better listings, the quicker it comes up when you put something in the search bar, is based on how many likes and that you get. And since I've only got about half a dozen followers, I need about 6,000 or something. So spread the word. So yeah, that's the card, how it's going to stand up on the inside. I think that looks very pretty. There we go. And that doesn't show through to the other side. Now all that remains to be done is to decorate the outside. So I'm thinking Merry Christmas here. Let's get that popped in. Look how easy it is with this bottle, this little nozzle. It's fantastic. I honestly didn't think it would make much difference, but it really, really does. And like I say, your glue just goes on forever. if you use these. There we go. There we go. I hope that you're also a member of my group, which is Jan S Cards and Creations, and that you get a chance to see all the card sketches that we do as well. These are just the card folds that I'm doing on here, but I also design and make card sketches, and I do one a week, have done for the past certainly 18 months, possibly 2 years. So there's plenty over there of all different sizes and styles of cards, from this basic standard size right up to the long and slim cards. I've done square ones in various sizes, and all the card sketches are there for you to just copy and use. If you show them anywhere, I would really appreciate it if you would credit me and tag me in, because again it helps me to build my followers, which I really need to do. Right, so let's have this one up here. That's got, no, I think actually I'm not going to put them on dimensionals, because I think I would have to be here forever cutting out dimensionals to fit this. So I'm going to actually just stick them down. They've got enough dimension when it comes to the glitter and everything. But yeah, guys, if you can share these videos with people, if you can like and subscribe, I would be very appreciative. It will help all of us in the long run, because it gives me the incentive to do more of them, as well as giving you some ideas about what to do. So let's stick that down there. What I'm going to do afterwards is go around the edges and trim off all the bits that hang over. So what about that there? Yeah, that's quite nice, isn't it? I think we're rattling along at a good pace today. Like I say, all of these I'm aiming to make them quick and simple cards, but still effective. So definitely have a try for yourself if you want to. Stick that down. I wonder what that would like in the look like in the middle, because that hasn't got a central thingy, has it? What about that? Or is that too much? I think it's too much. Come on, shout a bit louder so I can hear you. Let's just leave it there for a moment, and we'll have a look at it in a minute. Now, what about this one? This one can go here. Don't want to totally overload it. The actual cardstock I used for the front is glittered as well, so it's kind of just in my usual style, glitter and bling. Can't resist it. I'd have to put a padlock on my drawer. So that looks nice there, like that. And then what do you think? We could take that one off and put it here, or we could put a different one there. Oops, stick down. Have we got this one? No, I don't think we've got this one. Put that one there. How about that? It's quite pretty, isn't it? Oh, I don't know if you can hear it, but that's the rain again. It stops for about, I don't know, 5 minutes at the most, and you can see everybody running out with their dog to take them for a quick walk between now and the next shower. oh, not shower, downpour, monsoon even. Never seen so many dogs run round the block. Oh dear me, what is it like? Right, now what's your verdict then? Shall I pop that one on there just for a bit of difference? Yeah, go on, why not? But I shall just stick the middle. And try and line it up a bit. Like that. And hold that down. And there we go. So let me just turn this card over, trim off all the odd bits. Oops. Turn the card over, trim off all the bits. There we go. There. And there, come off. Behave yourself. Oh, there's a little bit there overhanging. And this bit here doesn't seem to bother the card one way or the other, so I might just leave it there. Although it might make a difference to the envelope. Hold on, let me have a look. Nope, that goes into a standard size envelope perfectly well, so I'm going to leave that little overhang at the back, 'cause I quite like that. I suppose really I could have left these bits as well, but anyway, I didn't. So let's tie this up and see how it's going to look finished. Tie it up quite tightly. Not so good with bows. Usually I have to get my daughter to tie it for me, but she's at work, so I shall have to manage. Right, there we go. There we go. Trim these ends a little bit. 1 and 2. And bring in our other card. So yeah, this is our Christmas card. It's called a Joyfold card. Oops, get these bits off the back. And when you open it up, like this, don't forget this is still a bit wet, it opens up like this. And there you have another beautiful Christmas card with a very simple but effective way of doing it. And this is it by just doing, well, I didn't use stamp, I put stickers on here, but you can just stamp on here and maybe leave a couple of them plain or something with just your design paper. So there we are, folks. That's both of the cards for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a go at making it, and do let us see your results as well. So take care, and I will see you next week. Thank you for watching. Bye now.